Yeah, my name is Kombi. I'm here as a contributor, as somebody who has seen like everything. I work for African Great Lakes. I'll contribute to what I see here. We are talking about the diaspora. We are talking about international NGOs, universities, funders, and the Canadian public and the government. What I know is we have to be included. We have to include everybody for development. Because what I know, the talent that I have, somebody else does not have. So if we included each one of us, that is, for me, that is how I would have looked at it, that how can we start including everybody? I worked with UN Habitat in Nairobi. UN Habitat in Nairobi uses the smallest NGOs, we call them CBOs, and self-help groups. They use those small self-help groups to learn what that particular self-group is doing. What is the problem at that area that made them form that group? So that problem, UN is interested, it will go listen to this small group, take their problem, and invite them to come and contribute. So that small self-help group, that CBO, is going to meet a big NGO up there, but through the UN organization. When you talk about the girl there saying that she's doing so, and she's like sounding like she wants to cry. And that is for sure. There is no funding. When you are telling people that when you do something, you have a talent and you do something for somebody here in Canada, you will be funded, that is not true. Anywhere you will send a proposal, they will ask you first to list how many organizations have funded you, and yet you registered yourself last year. So that means what? Nobody is ready to say, you cannot just say, yes, somebody, I'm partnered with somebody who helped me, so there is no funding for you. As I'm talking to you, I'm struggling to cook soup from my own house. Just to make a name for my organization. I'm cooking soup from my own house to carry the soup from Metrotown to Hastings to give to the homeless on the street. I'm not recognized. I go to this church, I deliver my soup, they say, no, don't take pictures, don't. Thank you for the soup, go. I have done my job. I have nothing, nobody will recognize me. Okay, how will I call myself an organization? Who is holding me? Where do I hold to? Everybody's, oh, this is what we do, we don't want you, we are okay without you. Okay, how can you, what I don't understand is like the diaspora. Why don't the diaspora have something like this? Like what I said with the UN. Diaspora goes out there to the community, talks to the community, looks at those small groups, come up with something and say, okay, we have collected 20 small groups. We want you 20 small groups to come and we look at different problems that you face. From there, these small groups will meet now the ZITA, will meet now the universities, will now meet the funders. But without you doing that, there are so many people who don't know that we are sitting here. Nobody. And when you ask, somebody's coming today for the first time. This is my second time. I've been here for 6 years. If we had information that goes out to the people, to the community, maybe we would be full here. Because we have problems. When we come to employment, when we come to people, I'm telling you, if you went to me and asked me where I came from, I'm not telling you. Because you are asking me so that tomorrow I'm on the way going back to Kenya with my problems. I'm not telling you. So how many people, as much as you went out to collect information, how many people did you miss? How many Sudanese did you miss? You missed so many Sudanese because they are not ready. For your information, the Africans that are here, they feel that this is a nice, small slavery. It's done like, okay, this is another slavery that we are really facing. You are here, you can't get jobs. You are here, you can never go and get trained. because you don't have a paper. You have to wait until you are landed. It's taking you 3 years to be landed. The small education you had back home, you don't have it. You are sweeping, you are cleaning, you came from home, teaching in a university. Here you are just like you never went to school. Our own kids that we educate back home, they come to Canada carrying their own certificate that they really adore. This is a degree I did in microbiology. I'm a doctor. Okay, now that I have a chance to go to Canada, I'm going to pursue it. The son kids here, no, are you a citizen? No, I'm not a citizen. I'm just landed. Okay, stay for 3 years. When you are a citizen, then you will be employed in the armed forces. How many times are the new immigrants and the immigrants going to cry? And who is going to hear that cry? I don't think we are doing it right. Can the diaspora come up with something? Put us together. First, listen to each one of us. We are in fear. We live in fear in Canada. Because we don't know where we are going. We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So can you first remove that fear? Tell us that when you are here, you are now safe. This is what we want to do. Let's work together. I believe everybody is something. Everybody within us. Out there we have, you have just taken one. We have so many out there who they don't know that these things happen. They don't know that they are contributors. They don't know that they can do better than you and me. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. There's about 5 minutes left, so what do we do?
Sing.
Time to sing. We're going to be meeting outside for a reception in about 5 minutes. And so, but I know there are a couple of people that were waiting to speak. It's going to have to be like really quick. Like, what is your main message? Because I know a lot of people need to leave right at 9, and I want to respect that. So right here and right there. And then I'm going to turn it back to a couple of people here. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Samson Nabimba. I'm from Uganda. I'm a member of Canadian International Council here in Vancouver, and I'm a founder for Yavin Society. One of the words I have, first of all, whatever we talk, we shall not walk the talk unless if the government policy changes. For your information, I think my brother from Ottawa, whatever, I'm not against Ottawa, I'm not a politician, but the Prime Minister actually has shifted support from Africa. CIDA is actually considering now focusing on Latin America, which means that these countries are not so much of a priority. So what can we do? First of all, the attitude which the leader has been talking about, this kind of prejudice and protectionism, unless the government comes out, we're going to face a situation like the people from Hong Kong, those so many years ago, migrating here, they don't have jobs, they get citizenship, they migrate back, and the country loses that way. So the role of the government is to make sure at least that it takes the front line in erasing some of these problems. And what can the universities do? I want to just give you an example of one of the universities which I'm connected to, kind of the School of Sustainable Development in Vermont. How can you design your projects to reflect the reality of today instead of teaching kids coming out after 4 years of degrees and they end up in the warehouse? Actually, it's not only happening about on immigrants, it's also happening about even the Canadians-born kids, because the university is not meaningful to what is in the reality. So what I'm saying, what you can do, make sure that the education and the policy papers, you can award, for example, that university in the United States is one of the best. You go for masters for 10 months, and the rest of the time you spend it back in your country doing development. So revise those courses. For example, in SFU, I don't think they have a degree in international development. This is just a certificate. Because the reason why I know, I represented the SFU in CIC debates some couple of years ago, even though I'm not from there. There's a way, you ask me how, I will tell you later. But anyway, the role of NGOs, the other thing is to network. Actually, I'm here because of CIDA. They were able to give me all the information. But the problem is CIDA cannot be independent without the will of the government. When the Ottawa says, we want you to put money here, they will follow. We want you to put money there, they will follow. So CIDA sometimes I think also is a lame duck. So what I'm saying also from here, why don't you write a proposal, sorry, not a proposal, but a paper which you can send to Ottawa and make a follow-up to see that all these thoughts are put into use. And then as a university, as an NGO and all that, let's network together. The reason why people work as individuals is because they get frustrated. And actually, you can easily work with the churches than even with the government because of politics. But if you can really, dialogue with all these people, especially the people who have organized this forum, it's not new to me, but you can do much more, both at the university level and as an institutional level.
Yeah.
This is my contribution.
Thank you very much. That was great. And then last word, and then I'm going to let Yvette and John say a couple of things, and then back to James.
Okay, I'll be very quick.
Thank you.
My name is Angelo Moroni. I am creator of Sudden Theater, a combination of social theater and performance art. I would just like to say that change and development, and I've said this at the tables, change and development starts at home, no matter where you are. It starts where you are, where you live. And that is what empowers you to find ways. And with all due respect, I'm saying this through my own life experience, which is, and I thank you all for enriching my understanding, because I have my own life experience, which is I am a Canadian citizen here. So I'm speaking through this point of view, of course. Yes. That's about it.
Thank you very much. I know there's a lot of responses that you'd like to have. Do we have time for just a really brief? Hussein, I know you'd like to say something really briefly.
I will be very brief. I'm not a professor, I'm a practitioner. I just want to respond what is your message for diaspora. I think for diaspora not to wait for others. We know we have a problem here. We know we have the problem back when referring to immigrants. It's up to us to get together to voice jointly. International NGOs and funders, my message to them, don't see the others as recipients. See them as a partner, which is difficult. Universities to educate them so that there is no recipient and donor relationship. Let they listen, respect where they are doing development, if that is development. Canadian public, I don't have any complaint. Canadian public needs education. They are so generous, but they don't know reality, what's happening back, wherever we come from. Canadian government, I don't want to comment. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for taking that apart and giving us your very succinct answer. So.